couple of days before we're ready to lock and load, I think it's dope that he out there in the middle of the night in the rain, throwing the football, working on his game with the Browns helmet on, letting people know I'm out here representing for the whole city. I'm representing. I like the fact that he's energetically proud to have the Browns helmet on.
Shedeur Sanders just pulled up in a Browns uniform at home, and now the internet is in full panic mode. Like someone told the haters ranch dressing is exotic. Is this calculated trolling? A silent audition? Or just Shedeur being the chaos king he is? Whatever the motive, Twitter's on fire, fans are spiraling, and every analyst is suddenly playing fashion police. One thing's clear, this wasn't just a casual fit, it was a statement, a flex. A flare gun fired straight into the heart of NFL speculation. So let's break down how one outfit just hijacked the football discourse.
Hey, this message is for the Cleveland Browns. We are only here for Shedeur. We are only here for Shedeur. We do not like brown and orange. Nobody likes those colors. Nobody in the history of the world has ever said, you know what, I'm gonna put on some brown and orange today. No. So all these new fans you got, all these jerseys selling, the jerseys are for Shedeur. It's just Shedeur. Y'all over there playing with numbers. He 12. DeAndre Carter got 2. Okay. Y'all playing around like we really like y'all.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you think. Shedeur Sanders slipped into a Cleveland Browns uniform, hit a few curls, let a couple drops of sweat hit the floor, and suddenly the internet imploded like it spotted Bigfoot in designer slides. That's all it took. No press tour, no dramatic reel, not even a single mysterious emoji. Just Shedeur at home, lifting weights in a Browns jersey, and now every armchair GM is treating it like a national emergency. No context, no caption, just pure chaos in cotton and cleats.
The Browns have the deepest quarterback room in the league right now, and that doesn't even include the injured Deshaun Watson. What was your evaluation of Shedeur Sanders, and how do you think he'll do there?
My evaluation was the most accurate quarterback I thought in this draft. When he sets his feet, when he's comfortable in the pocket, and he delivers the football, the ball goes where he wants it to go. And, this was a quarterback that was asked to have to win football games for his team. I don't think that can be overstated, is that, you go to a team, it's a really good team, and you become a complimentary piece. Yeah.
This wasn't your average workout. No chance. This was a signal, a silent, high-res NFL sizzling siren disguised as arm day. Shedeur didn't need to speak. The Browns gear did all the shouting, louder than a soap opera slap in surround sound. And right on cue, the haters swarmed, crawling out of crusty Reddit threads and faceless burner accounts like raccoons sniffing out stale fast food. The message received, and clearly rattling cages.
And then, in my opinion, I think that Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in college football. If I was an NFL GM and I had a pick to where I needed a quarterback, he'd be the first quarterback taken in this year's draft. He should be, and so I have a lot of respect for him.
Some were convinced it meant Shedeur was declaring for the draft on the spot. Others treated it like he burned a Colorado flag and disrespected the entire Buffalo legacy. One guy even called it the collapse of college football's moral compass. Seriously. Integrity, all because a college QB wore another team's jersey to pump some iron. If wardrobe choices equal betrayal now, then half the NFL should be charged with tampering every time they throw on a vintage jersey for clout. The hilarious part? Nobody even blinked when Shedeur wore custom Dior cleats to practice. Nobody panicked when he suited up in outfits so flashy they could signal planes. But throw on a Browns top and suddenly he's orchestrating a hostile takeover of the AFC North? Get a grip. It's called training, not a blood oath. Let's talk about why this shook the table. First, it's the Browns, the NFL team that people still associate with sadness, broken remotes, and the kind of quarterback history that makes horror movies look like romantic comedies. So when Shedeur rocked that uniform, people didn't see a shirt. They saw a suggestion. They saw a prophecy. And nothing triggers NFL fans like the mere idea of a young, unproven QB having swagger. This is what happens when someone doesn't ask permission to look confident. Shedeur's confidence is radioactive. He didn't beg for it, he baked in it. And the moment he put on that orange and brown, every critic with a phone turned into a football philosopher. Meanwhile, Shedeur was probably just trying to get through arm day without knocking over a protein shake. But the internet? Nah, they were busy having existential crises. Is he signaling to the Browns? Is he saying he wants out of Colorado? Does he even care about college football?
Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback in the country on Saturday. He put on a show. He's been efficient. He's been accurate. Like, obviously, school record passing yards. That was the best performance I've seen a quarterback have in that uniform in my life. Bam, 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 balls out, balls out. Now I've got to hold it, get the override, boom, balls out. Got a one-on-one, take it deep, boom, balls out. Didn't shy away from any throw at any moment. Third downs, fourth downs, didn't matter. He was on time and he was on target. When you're really playing well, you don't shy away from anything.
No, Karen, he just wore a jersey. That's it. The man didn't hop on a private jet to Cleveland. He didn't put the Buffalo mascot in a headlock. He wore fabric with a logo, and everyone acted like he submitted transfer paperwork to Roger Goodell. Let's be honest, this wasn't even about the Browns. This was about visibility. Shedeur has mastered the art of controlled chaos. One post, one clip, one color change, and suddenly, ESPN interns are typing furiously, trying to decipher the deeper meaning of a home gym session. Why the Browns? That's the part that really twisted people into a frenzy. He could have worn a Cowboys jersey, and people would have shrugged. A Falcons hoodie? Maybe a head nod. But the Browns? Oh, that's a statement. That's weirdly specific. That's the NFL equivalent of liking someone's Instagram story from 2017. Intentional, targeted, kinda flirty, maybe even savage. The Browns, for all their dysfunction and yearly chaos rituals, are still a team that gets people talking. That's what Shedeur understands. It's not about Cleveland, it's about conversation. And what better way to stir the pot than to drop a visual grenade right into the NFL rumor blender? Fans lost it. Browns fans were already photoshopping him onto the depth chart. Cleveland Twitter was planning parades. Meanwhile, Colorado fans were emotionally preparing for betrayal, like their quarterback had just texted his ex. Everyone else just sat back with popcorn, watching the algorithm go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, I think you got to take this thing like in pieces, like you do a football game. You get a series, you get a quarter, you get a half, you get a game. And you got to win the series, you got to win the quarter, you got to win the half, and you got to do it again. So if we look at everything and parcel it out, he clearly was the best performer in rookie minicamp. Then you go to OTAs, which are not mandatory, but of course he was there, organized team activities. He clearly came out of OTAs with the best numbers.
Here's the kicker. Shedeur didn't break a single rule. Not one. No tampering, no leaks, no draft declaration, just vibes and upper body reps. And yet the drama unfolded like he walked onto the field with a "Trade Me" tattoo across his forehead. Of course, the haters didn't stop at outrage. No, they had to make it personal. They said he was arrogant, flashy, distracted, because apparently you're only allowed to train if you do it in plain gray sweatpants with no labels, no music, and zero personality. Anything more and suddenly you're a diva. But let's flip the script. What if this was intentional? What if Shedeur, a guy raised under the high-wattage spotlight of primetime himself, knew exactly what he was doing? What if the Browns uniform wasn't a coincidence, but a marketing missile? This is the NIL era, baby, where branding is as important as your 40-yard dash. Every video is a headline, every hoodie is a message, and every workout is a chance to go viral. Shedeur's not just lifting weights, he's lifting algorithms. He's seen how the game works. He knows one clip in the right jersey sparks more debate than any press conference. And guess what? It worked. He didn't need a PR team. He didn't need a podcast. Just a camera, a Browns jersey, and a slight smirk. The internet did the rest. Even the Browns organization probably did a double take, because let's not pretend they're not watching. Every front office has social media interns combing through these clips like CIA analysts.
Oh, he got a 75% completion percentage versus a 65. Okay, where's the 10% drop off? Oh, that was a good throwaway right there, Ocho. Avoided the sack, avoided the loss, kept him in field goal range. I'm processing the entirety of the game. I'm not looking at no completion percentage because I'm not going to elevate him or downgrade him based on that. I will elevate or downgrade him based on the decisions that he makes.
If you think that Browns gear didn't land on someone's desk in Berea, you're kidding yourself. The scouting department probably paused their film study to ask, do we need to make a call? And it's not crazy, because talent aside, Shedeur brings eyeballs. The NFL is a business. Views mean money. Headlines mean buzz. And a guy who can drop a 10-second video and hijack an entire news cycle? That's a valuable asset. Now here's where it gets spicy. What if Shedeur does have Cleveland on his radar? Imagine the drama. The Browns, in need of a future face of the franchise, staring at a QB who already has media training in his DNA and swagger in his veins. Say what you want, but Shedeur's got the tools. Arm strength, check. Pocket presence, developing. Confidence, overflowing. And more importantly, he's got that rare ability to make headlines without saying a word. That's not arrogance. That's marketing genius. But let's say this wasn't intentional. Let's assume he just grabbed the first clean jersey he saw and thought, this'll do. That makes it even funnier, because that means the internet spun itself into a tailspin over absolutely nothing. They created an entire telenovela over a wardrobe choice. That's like mistaking someone's Halloween costume for a career announcement. It's also worth pointing out, Shedeur doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Not Colorado fans, not the NFL, not the angry Facebook uncles yelling about loyalty.
You're a fifth-round draft choice, right? And it's some of the decisions you have made, and it lends credence to the criticism that he received in the pre-draft process, right? Didn't show up, prepared in meetings, didn't catch intentional mistakes, right? All these different little things that came out during that pre-draft process. And this is one of those situations, I was a 10th rounder. You're keeping your nose clean, you're making sure you do everything the right way because being a late round draft choice, he's a late round draft choice, a fifth rounder, nothing is guaranteed for you.
His job is to get better, stay visible, and keep stacking highlight clips until the league has no choice but to call. And he's doing it. With style. While other college QBs are sipping mocktails on a yacht or flexing in front of rented Lambos, Shedeur's in his house, grinding. Yeah, he's doing it in style, but he's doing it. The grind is real, even if the jersey causes confusion. Plus, let's be honest, Browns uniforms are kinda underrated. That dark orange with the white trim, that shade of chocolate brown, it hits differently when paired with raw talent and a hint of chaos. Maybe Shedeur just has good taste. The deeper issue is this. People aren't mad about the jersey. They're mad because he has the audacity to own the moment. He knows who he is. He knows how to stir a room without making a sound. And that drives people nuts. Because in a league obsessed with humility theater, anyone who struts instead of shuffles gets labeled a problem. Doesn't matter if they work harder than anyone else. Doesn't matter if they back it up. If you look too confident, there's always someone ready to call you a distraction. But Shedeur's not distracted. He's deliberate. Everything he does is calculated, from his footwork to his fashion. This Browns move, whether intentional or accidental, it proved one thing. He knows how to keep the spotlight warm. And as for the haters, they'll keep chirping. They'll keep twisting every clip into a scandal. They'll scream about team loyalty from the comfort of their teamless couch.
Interesting quote from Todd McShay, followed up by an interesting tweet from Matt Leinart. Todd McShay, here's what he said. Just finished all 94 plays of Colorado's offense versus Baylor. Even excluding the Hail Mary, Shedeur was sensational. His receivers just don't have to work for the ball the way a lot of other prospects make their guys work. Best pure passer in terms of anticipation, placement, throwing guys open, etc. in the 2025 class. Now you might just say, okay, that's just a draft analyst, whatever. Then Matt Leinart jumps on it. Heisman Trophy winner, former NFL quarterback. He's played the position. He knows what it looks like. Here's what Matt Leinart tweeted. His pocket presence movement is second to none.
But at the end of the day, they're still watching, still commenting, still feeding the buzz. And that's the win. Could Shedeur actually fit with the Browns? Oh, absolutely. And not just because he looks good in brown and orange, which, let's be honest, is a miracle in itself. This is deeper than drip. This is about football IQ, swagger compatibility, and whether Cleveland's front office is ready to admit that their current QB room is just a glorified game of musical chairs, with the music glitching mid-beat. Let's start with the obvious. The Browns' quarterback situation is like trying to fix a cracked iPhone screen with duct tape and hope. Deshaun Watson is on a multi-million-dollar redemption arc that's starting to look more like a haunted carousel. Backup QBs are being shuffled like playing cards in Vegas. And the fan base? They're watching every snap through clenched teeth and prayer hands. Enter Shedeur, a walking headline with actual talent to back it up. Suddenly, the chaos looks a little less hopeless. Now, could he realistically land in Cleveland? It's not that wild. Think about it. The Browns aren't exactly known for predictable draft strategies. They've taken chances before, some glorious, most disastrous. Shedeur wouldn't just be a pick, he'd be a statement. A we're done with the safe option kind of move. And with his growing star power and polished on-camera presence, you just know ownership would eat that up. This is the same franchise that once made Johnny Manziel their entire brand for like 6 weeks. Shedeur at least brings maturity and a resume that isn't built on frat party highlights.
In the second day of mandatory minicamp, and he's clearly got the best numbers so far in this. If you were making a football game with camp actually being the fourth quarter, we're 3 quarters into the process, and he has shown who he is, and that is the best quarterback that they have on the roster. And I'm including Flacco when I say that, not just the rookies he's competing against, a second-year guy or some guy, that's in the field house cutting grass or something. This dude has proven he is, who he was at Jackson State, who he was at Colorado, and who he is in the NFL.
And style-wise, he fits better than people think. Shedeur's arm talent is NFL caliber. He zips passes with timing and confidence. He's patient in the pocket, not rattled easily, and has that rare ability to process and react in real time. That's gold in a league where defenses move like caffeinated chess pieces. Combine that with his leadership, the way he commands attention without forcing it, and you've got someone who wouldn't just fit the Browns' offense, he'd upgrade it. Plus, let's talk synergy. Amari Cooper still has gas in the tank. David Njoku is a walking mismatch. Elijah Moore just needs someone who can actually deliver him the ball on time. Shedeur could thrive with those weapons. His ability to extend plays and keep his eyes downfield makes him dangerous with playmakers around him. Imagine a bootleg rollout where he shakes a linebacker and lasers a sideline throw to Cooper. That's not just functional, it's cinematic. But here's the secret sauce. Cleveland loves bold personalities. Ownership, management, even the fan base. They thrive off energy. They like noise. They want a quarterback who's not afraid to talk, pose, and throw for 300 yards while doing it. Shedeur is media savvy in a way that elevates his brand and the team's. Every post-game presser becomes a clip. Every warm-up becomes a meme. And unlike others who've come through the Browns' revolving QB door, he can handle that spotlight. He grew up in it. He was built for it. So yes, it was just a uniform.
I would be surprised personally if both of those veteran quarterbacks are still on the roster come week 1 and you have the 2 rookies. Usually in a situation like this, just covering the league a while like I have, You have the two veterans go at it. One of those guys is your veteran, and then you probably keep both rookies and you dress maybe one of them. And you've got Flacco as your starter week 1, Shedeur or Gabriel as your backup. Then you got one who's not active, not dressed, but is obviously still on the team. So it would be surprising with the Cleveland Browns if they kept 4 quarterbacks. I do know that this year is going to be very important for Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel. And the reason is they're both 3rd round and 5th round picks.
Because while they're busy yelling into the void, Shedeur is stacking headlines, building leverage, and maybe, just maybe, auditioning for his NFL future one drip-heavy workout at a time. So let's hear it in the comments. Was this a genius move or just elite-level gym drip? And be honest, would you want Shedeur in your team's jersey next season? Because if this is how he plays the game off the field, imagine what he'll do on it. Because while they're foaming at the mouth, Shedeur is calmly stacking his resume, stacking muscle, and maybe, just maybe, planting seeds for a post-Colorado empire. All it took was one jersey, one video, one perfectly timed workout, and suddenly, he's the headline. Again. Not bad for a guy just trying to get his reps in. So to recap, Shedeur Sanders puts on a Browns uniform, lifts some weights, doesn't say a word, and the world goes berserk. Some call it arrogance. Some call it chaos, but really it's just genius. Intentional or not, he just played the game better than half the league, and he did it without even stepping on a field.